So on this channel, I've always been talking about credit cards and why you guys should have multiple credit cards and how good credit cards are. However, in this video, I'm going to be talking about why I am now choosing to stop using my credit cards. I'll be telling you guys why I won't be using my credit cards as much as I would have normally been using them, and why you may be better off with using a debit card or even cash than using a credit card. In fact, before we go any further in this video, I want you to comment below and let me know how much cash back you get from your credit cards every single year, or rewards points in the dollar amount. Is it over $1,000 or is it less than $1,000? Comment below and let me know what your credit cards are giving you every single year. Now, I have a couple of credit cards, right? And each of these credit cards has a specific reason, or I applied for these credit cards for a specific purpose. So for example, the first credit card I had was the Discover It's Secured, which was converted to the Discover Gas and Restaurant card. And this credit card gets me 2% cash back on fuel purchases, which is great. However, after getting the bonus and building my credit, 2% in cash back doesn't really seem like a lot anymore. In fact, I'm going to compare using a very popular credit card like the Chase Freedom Flex that gives you 5% in rotating categories to spending just cash or using a debit card that doesn't give you any cash back, to kind of give you guys an understanding of what my thoughts on credit cards are right now. Now, just before we get into all that, just a very quick reminder to give this video a thumbs up if you like the content and if you'd like to keep these videos coming. And also, if you're new to the channel, my name is Eann, and on this channel, I talk about ways to make money, ways to save your money, ways to invest your money. I talk about bank accounts and credit cards and everything to do with personal finance. So if you like these types of videos and you like these topics, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to the channel with the notifications on. And that way you'll never miss the updates of when I post new videos on this channel. So let's get back to credit cards. And we're going to be using the Chase Freedom Flex, which is also a very good credit card that I got because it gives you 5% in bonus categories every quarter, and you also pay no annual fees with this credit card, and you also get a sign-on bonus of around $200 when you sign up for the card. So it was a really good deal. Now, currently I have this credit card and I don't spend a lot on this credit card. I'll probably spend $200 to $300 per month on this credit card, and that is by doing any regular purchases that I would normally be doing. Now, even if I were to max this out and if I were to go to $1,500 or more to get that 5% in cash back, this would mean that every single month or quarter, or actually every month, I would gain 5% in cash back on up to $500. So let's do some simple math here real quick to see how much cash back I could actually get if I were to hit all the bonus categories every single month for the entire year. So 5% of 500 is $25, and this means that I can get a max of $25 per month, and then we have 12 months in the year. So this means that I could potentially get around $300 in cash back if I were to use all the bonus categories and get the maximum cash back of 5% and up to $500 per month or $1,500 per quarter, right? Now, as I mentioned before, I have this credit card, but I don't use it that much. I'll probably spend $200 to $300 on this credit card every single month. And because of this, I could gain about $180 in cash back every single year. But that is only if all my purchases were in the 5% rotating categories, which they aren't. Now, this is all good because the card came with a bonus, which I was very happy for. It came with an introductory APR where I got 18 months or 15 months rather, where I could make purchases and not pay any interest on the purchases that I made. It also comes with no annual fees and a bunch of other perks. So this was a really good card to sign up for. Now, the problem comes in, however, when I think about the temptations of using a credit card. So for example, you could budget to spend, let's say, $100 on some recreational activity. And so you go to this recreational event and you spend $100, but then you want to do something else and it's going to cost you $50 more, and you can afford to do it because maybe you can afford to pay $50 more over budget for it because you have this credit card. So it's really easy, and you know in your mind that you can definitely easily pay for this. So you go over your budget and you spend $150 when you had only budgeted or initially planned to spend $100. Now, to make this worse is the fact that with the credit card, even if you pay the balance in full every single month, you could make a transaction today and you may not get the statement until the end of the month. And then even after getting that statement, you may have 15 days before you actually pay for that credit card bill. So you could go potentially 45 days or thereabout without having to pay that money back interest-free, and that tempts you to spend even more on your credit card, especially if you know that you can afford to do so. So now for each purchase that you make using this credit card, you're tempted to spend just a little bit more because you can afford it. And so you end up spending more money than you would have if you were to use cash or your debit card, where the money is immediately taken from your account and you can see that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there is something different about seeing money disappearing from my account that gives me a totally different feeling than spending money on a credit card. Now, remember earlier on in this video, I said that in my case, I could get $180 in cash back from this card per year, or even if I max this out, I could get up to $300 in cash back for a year. But when I consider all the things I could overspend on, if I simply spend $50 over my budget for anything once per month, that would cost me $600 per year. The maximum cashback I could get here is $300 per year from the 5% categories. This is also being very generous because you could overspend by $20 or $30 on anything, and you could be doing this multiple times per month, and you could also be able to afford this. And so at the end of the year, you could be overspending by thousands of dollars because you were using a credit card and you knew that you could afford to overspend. So it's like getting your cash back, but you're also overspending. So at the end of the year, you spend more money than you wanted to spend, and you probably could have put that money to better use. Now, you may be wondering, well, Ian, does this mean that you're completely against credit cards now? And the answer is no, because I would still rather get 5% or 2 or 1% in cash back rather than getting 0%. However, my strategy is to now use my credit cards only for recurring bills or payments that don't charge, or that don't change rather. And that way I never get tempted to overspend because I know that I can afford to do so. And I don't spend more money on things that I don't actually want just because I know that I'm getting cash back for spending on those things. So I still like the credit cards and I still think they're good, especially the sign-on bonuses where you could get $200 or $300 when you apply for one of these new credit cards, and the other perks that these cards come with. But this now is just my thought process on credit cards, and I want you guys to comment below as well and let me know what you think about this, right? Do you think I am going a bit overboard with this now, or do you actually think that there is a difference when you spend cash or use a debit card than when you use your credit card? And are you experiencing the same thing where you may overspend just because you know that you can afford to overspend and you're using a credit card where you can easily swipe and go over your budget? Comment below and let me know. So the main point of this video is that credit cards are still good. They're good for building your credit. They're good for the sign-on bonuses. They're also good for the cash back. But once you actually establish good credit and you use the cards for the bonuses, or use the introductory APR offers, then you may not be getting as much value as you think from the cashback or the points, especially for regular credit cards. So instead, you may just be tempting yourself to spend more than you would have in spending if you would have chosen to use cash to pay for those purchases, or if you were to use a debit card. Also, another very good use of credit cards is using the balance transfer feature. So if you're in a lot of debt right now, or you have a lot owed on a credit card, you can actually apply for a credit card with a introductory no interest offer of, let's say, 15 months, and then you transfer that balance from the old card to the new card, and then you have 15 months to pay that balance off without being charged any interest. So I'm not totally against credit cards. I still think they're very useful tools that everyone should own. But I think the entire idea of using credit cards for everything is somewhat bad, and that can lead you to overspending even if you can afford to overspend. So once again, comment below and let me know what you think. Also, be sure to check those links down below in the description for free and helpful stuff, which includes free cash, free crypto, and free stocks. If you guys haven't already done so, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like the content and you like to keep these videos coming. And also be sure to subscribe with the notifications on so you never miss the updates of when I post new videos. And also, there is a free checking account that Discover offers where you get a debit card that gives you 1% in cash back on all purchases. So debit isn't all that bad. You could probably use that checking account with that debit card and still get cash back while still using money and not borrowing or using credit for your purchases. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. All the best, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one.